talk about posture. All right, so if you've heard me talking about any of the topics for more than 2 minutes, you know I talk about posture quite a fair bit. So, why does correcting your posture or sitting upright hurts? Now, you need to understand the muscle brain connection in order to understand the answer to this question. Now, there are many people, and especially if you are an executive mom, you're working in the office, you're sitting for long hours, meetings, travels, etc. You come home and then you are busy with your kids. So you're basically juggling a lot of responsibilities, back pain, and a slouch posture. These can be constant companions for you. So if that is the case, you need to know why, whenever you try to sit upright from a slouch posture, why is it that your back starts to hurt? Or why is it that you always go back in that slouch posture? So once you understand this, you will be able to work towards achieving a good posture and maintaining it as well. So, before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their pain, that is, their spinal, back and neck pain, and nerve pain. I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain journey. And I also talk about this pain journey that where you can manage your pain despite brain fog, that is a mum brain, as sometimes we call it, or lack of focus and low energy levels, because this is also a problem that most moms face, and this is something that I have gone through in my adrenal fatigue journey. All right, so I'm not going to take up much of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So let's get on with the topic for today, which is why does correcting your posture or sitting upright hurt? And you need to understand the muscle brain connection to know this. Now, it is okay, so your brain, your body, your muscles do not work in isolation. This is a full system where your brain is the control center. It is giving out all the commands to your muscle, to your spine, to your basically your whole body, right? So what happens is when we are regularly sitting in a slouch posture. So suppose I'm sitting like this at my desk all the time. I have a rounded upper back, mid back, and of course I'm slouching at my lower back as well. Now when that happens, this posture is conveyed to your brain. Your brain has got a characteristic which is known as a neuroplasticity, or a concept known as neuroplasticity exists, wherein your brain is it adapts to the newer okay, how do I put this? It adapts to the new posture or this slouch posture, and then after you repeatedly sit in this slouch posture, the brain starts to think of this slouch posture as the new normal for your body. So basically, your brain doesn't have a set pattern where, as a child, when you're sitting upright, you're standing upright. If you see children, they usually don't have poor posture as well. Those kids who carry heavy school bags are a different story. I'm talking about younger kids. They have a good posture. However, it is not that once in childhood our brains have got this set posture and carries on for life. It doesn't happen. So that's where the concept of neuroplasticity comes in, where they say your well, let me give you the example of Play-Doh, because we are moms. We've all seen Play-Doh around, right? So they say your brain is quite malleable. So when you create new habits or postures, your brain starts to connect, the neurons start to connect, and that is how the brain says, okay, this is normal for me now. So your brain gets used to this slouch posture. It starts to recognize it as your default posture or your new normal posture. Now, so basically it develops this muscle memory, and the more you maintain that posture, that is in this case a slouch posture, the more you maintain this posture, the more the brain reinforces it as your default posture. Now what happens when you start to correct the posture? Now there are two things: at the level of the spine and at the level of the brain, and of course the connection between the two. So at the level of the brain, what happens is when you start to sit upright, your brain says, hey, this is not my normal posture. I mean, of course, I'm simplifying, I'm oversimplifying things, but just to make you understand, your brain starts to think, hey, this is not my normal posture. This is my normal posture, so I should go and slouch. However, you also know that this slouch posture is not good for you, so you start sitting upright in a good posture. However, once you get busy with your work, or at home, or in the office, say you're sitting in a meeting, after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or probably an hour, or after a certain amount of time, you realize that you've again come back into this slouch posture, because your brain has gone like on an autocorrect mode and gone back to the default posture that it thinks it is normal, right? So it's gone back into your slouch posture. Now, what's happening at the level of the muscles? Now, when I am sitting upright, my muscles, excuse me, my muscles are at a certain length, right? So there is a length tension relationship in those in that muscle. But anyway, let's just keep it simple. So there is a certain length of the muscle. So if I'm looking at my muscles of my back, there is a certain length of the muscle, right? But when I'm always slouched like this, my muscles of the back are elongated, or they are longer than the usual length. But that for me is normal, because my muscles are used to being in that stretched position. So when I try and sit upright, what happens is these stretched muscles also tend to be quite weak, because it's like if you take a rubber band and you stretch it for a long period of time. Over a period of time, it loses that elasticity. And of course, I'm not saying your muscles lose elasticity. What I'm saying is the muscles get weaker. They sort of, they don't have the strength to maintain your posture upright against gravity. So we have anti-gravity muscles starting right from like the back of our head down to the calf muscles. So all along the back, as in the posterior chain of the body. So whenever you are upright, these muscles have to counteract the effect of gravity so that you don't fall down. Otherwise, your body's going to flop down to the floor. So when your muscles are elongated because of that slouch posture, and they are weak because of that elongation, they do not have the capacity to hold your spine upright, or to go into that normal length that they should be, and they cannot maintain that normal length. So what happens is, because your muscles are weak, you will again go back into that slouched or slump posture. Now, how okay, just looking at my notes here. So of course, then there is also the one thing that I forgot to mention is also the factor that when you're slouched and slumped, so the moment I do this, you can see that the muscles in the front, that is these pectoral muscles or the chest muscles, the ones at the front of my neck, all these are in a shortened position. So they're all tight and shortened. So there is a lot of imbalance between these short, not short, short and tight muscles, and those long and weak muscles. So there's a lot of muscular imbalance going on around your body as well. So given the fact that your brain has that perceived good posture, which is actually not good. It is a slumped or slouch posture. Plus, your muscles are weak. Plus, there's a muscular imbalance going on around your spine, in your body. There are a lot of factors in play. However, the good news is you can correct your posture. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done around, depending, I mean, depends on how long have you had that poor posture. Do you have any other problems, like say disc issues or stenosis, arthritis, degeneration, etc., etc.? Yes, the answer is yes, you can correct your posture. And of course, to answer the original question, this is why you feel that pain in your muscles or your back when you try to sit upright, because those are weaker muscles. They tend to get tired. Once they are tired, they start to get achy. It's like when you go for a run for the very first time. You go, run, come back, you start to get this ache in your muscles, in your body, right? You get tired. But as you do it over a period of time, you get used to it. And of course, you get habituated to the running, and your muscles get stronger. You can manage it better, right? So similarly, this is true in case of a poor posture or a slouch posture as well. And that is why when you try and sit upright, firstly, you can't maintain that for very long, maybe minutes or hour, depends on how long have you had that poor posture, and how much awareness you have around that posture, and also because of the weakness in the muscles and the muscular imbalance. Okay, so you have these three factors playing in here. Now, your next question may be, how do we address this? So I'm not going to address it in this video because otherwise it'll get too long. So I will address it in a subsequent video. And of course, your muscular imbalances and working around your posture, all this has to be very individual, but there are some generic or some general points that I will cover in that video. Now, if you are interested in knowing more, I have written a blog on this topic. You can have a look at that blog, and the link is in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link will be in my bio. If you cannot find it, do let me know, and I will message it. I mean, message me, and I will send it across to you. Also, if you want a free checklist on how to improve your posture when you're not sure where to start, have a look at the blog, and it has that free checklist in there. It has some more information that would be useful for you if you're looking towards if you are looking to work towards a good posture. Alrighty, if you have any questions, any comments for me today, do let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.